Hey everybody, we are teaching Vermillion, oil painting in virtual reality. This time we're going to talk a bit about composition in part of our short composition series. Specifically, we're going to look at how to make a rough sketch in Vermillion before you actually go into paint. Now, in the real world, if we're going to compose the painting ahead of time, people will often use things like charcoal or a pencil to quickly sketch in where they want the details, where they want things to be in the painting. So you can see ahead of time if things fit, if things line up and balance out the way you want them to. Now, we don't have a pencil or charcoal in Vermillion, but we do have one big advantage they don't have in the real world: layers. So what we're going to do is we could either use the bottom layer and actually sketch in where things will be, and then use layers 2 and 3 for the painting so that the colors and our sketch are separate. So if I need to, I can erase some color and see the original sketch where things should be lining up. We could also put that sketch in the top layer. So when we go in with layers 2 and 3 with color, we will still see these sketch outlines, our rough drawing, where we want things to line up. Then afterwards, we can grab the cleaning rag and erase the rough sketch, just leaving the colored painting behind. Does this make sense? Well, let's take a look right now. For sketching, for drawing in Vermillion, since we don't have a pencil, we do have the rigger brush. It is a very thin brush that holds a lot of paint. So what I'm going to do is that let's get our brushes on screen here. I'm just going to get some black paint down here. And I'm actually going to add a little bit of thinner to it. So the thinner makes it translucent and see-through. So if I do the sketch on the top level, I will still see the color through the sketch, but still see the sketch on top. So I've got some gray paint here going, some thinned black paint, and the rigger brush is the long, skinny brush. It actually holds quite a bit of paint, so you can draw a long, consistent line for getting some paint. So here we go. Let's clean that out here. Let's get this translucent paint. I'm going to make sure I'm in the top layer, even though you guys can't see my layer screen there. You'll have to take my word for it. Now I can sketch in where I want. Let's say this is a landscape. We'll have the horizon going across here. And maybe we'll have a tree over on this side. Some tree here, some tree coming down like that. Maybe we'll get some mountain going on over here, get some mountain coming back down. And then we're going to have the defensive radar screen, defensive shield dish, like the big radar dish down here. And then we're going to have the Death Star looming in on the horizon, coming up here. And let's get the power dish and a little bit of that other line going across. Okay, now I've got a good idea. I'll put some more trees coming in down here, and this line coming in down here. Now I've got a good idea of where I want to put stuff, how I want this painting to turn out. Because it's on its own layer and because it's its own brush, I can grab the cleaning rag to erase bits and pieces and change it. Remember, for a full erasure, you need to dip your rag in the brush a couple of times. Listen for the sound effect. Now it'll actually do a clean erase on any of those lines. And I can grab that rigger brush and redraw whatever little bits and pieces I feel like redrawing. Now I've got a sketch, a rough outline on where things should show up. So now if I go to a different lower layer, now I can grab some nice dark blue and we'll have some sky coming in here. Nice dark sky. We'll even add a little purplish, so it's a little purple up in the top going into a nice evening sky. There we go. Maybe I did that backwards. But now we'll grab some white and we'll get the curve of the Death Star coming in. And it's got some of that faded outlines in here. And you can still see the black lines of the sketch on top of the color I'm putting in. Now we'll grab some nice dark green, darken the green of a tree, green of the hillside. Get some more of that hillside coming in over here. Purple Mountain's Majesty. Whoops. Losing some of my purple here. But as a quick idea, you can sort of see what's happening. You can see how the sketch lines help give me control on where I want things to show up. If I need to, or once I've got everything the way I want, I can go back to that top layer and erase those sketch lines. And all that I'm left with are the blocks of color themselves. The painting on the lower levels. So sketching in Vermillion, ideally we're just going to use a thin paint and the rigger brush so that we can block in and lay out where we want all these pieces to be. So the final painting, we can see ahead of time what colors are going to go where. Does this make sense? If it doesn't, let me know in the comments below. I do try to make sure questions are answered and at least gives you directions on which way to go. We also love to see the paintings that you guys create, so feel free to link in any information or join us in the Discord. The link should be down in the comments in the description of the video below. So this is part of our composition series about how to lay out and compose your picture before you actually go in with a color. And a rough sketch is always going to give you a great guideline on where you want to put things. Thanks for joining us. Have fun oil painting in virtual reality. This is Vermillion, an app available both on Steam and Oculus. Have fun, everybody, and we'll see you painting.